Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Spring Town Hall for 2023. It's a pleasure to have you here. My name is Terrence Brazil, and I'm a Community Engagement Specialist for HUECU. Thank you, everyone, for spending time with us today. Before we jump into the content, just want to go over some housekeeping tips to set the stage for the presentation. Today's format will be answering questions from our members. Thank you for submitting them in advance. We will be reducing background noise, so if there's anything going on, kids, pets, no need to worry. It should make for a nice, clean presentation. If you have any questions or comments, please use the Q&A feature. The chat has been disabled. And this presentation will be recorded, and the recording will be uploaded to our YouTube shortly after this. And if you can find it at our youtube.com/myhuecu. Next up, we have a raffle. As a thank you for being here with us today, all attendees have been automatically entered into a raffle for prizes. So please, after this presentation, be on the lookout for an email from someone from the community engagement team letting you know that you've won. We also have a new branch in the Longwood Medical area located at 435 Brookline Ave. We also have more prizes there as well. We have a parents raffle going on, started on May 14th and will be ending on June 18th. So if you're interested in participating, please stop by in the branch, fill out a little form, and you'll be entered in to win some cool prizes. Now, without further ado, our esteemed president and CEO, Craig Leonard.
Thanks, Terrence. Really appreciate that.
Of course. Craig, first question, how were HUECU's financials this past quarter?
Yeah, so we're doing well. It's a really challenging environment. As most of you know, the Federal Reserve has been really active, increasing rates over this past year. They're up, nearly 500 basis points or 5 full percentage points, and certainly that has impacted our business. We're looking to grow the institution, our asset size about 5% this year. From a lending standpoint, we're seeing still strong member spend. When we compare member spend this year versus that of 2022, we're still seeing increases. So consumers are still out there spending. We've seen a real increase within our second mortgage and our home equity lines of credit product. We've offered a special rate on that for the last year or so. Members are taking advantage of that. But the other reason why they're taking advantage of it is that, a lot of our members have locked in really low long-term fixed rates, but they have that need still to, go on that vacation, put on that addition or that swimming pool. And so tapping into that equity has been a great source for our members to utilize. So we're seeing robust growth in that type of product. And then on the deposit side, we've seen a large shift in where our members are placing their deposits. We're seeing members take advantage of the increased rates that we're offering, and rates within the marketplace themselves. Savers for the last decade have not fared well because interest rates have been rock bottom. Over this past year, like I said, rates have increased. It's really providing our savers a nice opportunity to take advantage of these higher rates. And they're certainly doing so, taking advantage of a lot of the promotional CD rates that we have. And so that's great for them. From an earnings standpoint, we're likely to see our earnings be a little lower than that of 2022. And the biggest reason is that we're offering higher market rates for our deposit products. And like I said, members are taking advantage of that. So we're happy to extend those offering rates, and we're so pleased to see members really taking full advantage of that. So good year for 2023 so far, and we don't see that slowing down whatsoever.
Awesome, that's great news. Let's go on to our first question. Do you offer educational workshops outside of Massachusetts?
Really, ever since the pandemic, we stopped or paused doing in-person workshops, and we do most of our workshops these days virtually. And so when we do in person, we're likely to start those up again here in the fall. Most of those will be, more located within our employer partners like Harvard and over in the that the hospitals within the medical area. So they're going to be largely here in the Boston, Cambridge area. That being said, we do have a tremendous amount of resources and workshops that our members can take advantage of. If you go to our website, on the far right tab, there's a Learn tab. If you follow that down, there's workshops. There's all sorts of great information in terms of blogs. Workshops are recorded, so you can always tap into those at your convenience. And if you have a specific question that is geared to education, reach out to our education team. They are wonderful. And so if there's something that's specific to you that you're trying to find out, we're more than happy to talk with you and help you in your specific case.
Thank you, Craig. I personally have also utilized Golden Light Plus, GreenPath, and Thrive. They've all been phenomenal in helping me personally kind of keep my financial education in tip-top shape. Next up, should I wait for mortgage rates to drop before buying a home?
It's funny, I was at an event earlier this week and I was talking to a couple of our mortgage loan originators just about this question. They've received a few questions from members about this. You know, the home market is still really strong here in Massachusetts, and from what they're telling me is they're still seeing multiple offers come in on homes. So I never try to play the rate guessing game. You know, are rates going higher, are rates going lower? What I would say is if you have found a home that you love, and more importantly, where interest rates are today, that home becomes affordable within your budget, then I would say take advantage of that. You know, if rates start to trend higher afterwards, you'll be very happy. And if rates trend lower after you've locked into it, you can always refinance and take advantage of those lower rates at another moment of time. But it's an aggressive home buying environment. There's still inventory related issues. You know, certainly here in the Boston marketplace in particular. So my advice is if you find a home, you love it, you can afford it, it works within your budget, don't worry about the rate so much. You know, rates ebb and flow, and you can always take advantage of lower rates down the road if they materialize.
That is good advice because I am also looking forward to buying my house when it's time.
It's so
Definitely.
hard to find a home, you know. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to where they put an offer in and unfortunately, you know, their offer isn't accepted. It's still a crazy market.
Fully understand. All right, next question. Will HUECU do any deposit specials other than CDs?
Yeah, a lot of institutions, and we were no different, you know, over the last 6 months of aggressively moving up our certificate products. Uh, you know, but what we heard too from a lot of members was it would be great if I could have a higher rate in a liquid account. You know, I don't want to tie up my money longer term. So we actually did two things. We still offer a number of CD specials, but what we did is we shortened some of those specials so you can get a higher rate even in a shorter term 6-month, 9-month type of certificate where you're not locking up your money for any long duration whatsoever. But more importantly, we rolled out a rewards savings account. You can earn up to 4%, which is a great rate for a highly liquid account. It comes with a couple requirements in order to get that rate, but the requirements are extremely attainable, and we did that purposefully. We want our members to save and take advantage of this. But like I said, the most important thing is it's a good rate and it's highly liquid. You know, you put your money in today, you can take it out tomorrow. You don't have to worry about tying your money up longer term. So I would definitely check that one out.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig. Next up, how is the credit union making it easier for members to bank while living outside the US?
We have a fair amount of our members that live internationally. And so we are continuously looking at ways how we can make it easier for them, because it's not always easy to transfer money into the institution when you're overseas. We've heard that from a lot of members over the years. One of the things that we did from a remittance standpoint, from wiring, is we partnered with a company called Wise. And, for years, we were doing our own international wires, and we still do that today. But what we found is, it can be complicated, it can be expensive, and it can take a while before your money gets from one point to the next. The partnership with Wise has really made that process so much better for our members. It's faster, it's cheaper, and we just came to the realization, hey, they can do that part better than us. So let's pass that benefit on to our members. So remittances have become easier. We have our online banking. It's up 24/7. You can use that at any point in time to transact with the institution. This past year, we've implemented chatbots. So if you want to get a question answered by the institution, but perhaps there's a time difference, you can use our chatbots to try to get all your questions answered with us. And the other thing that we are moving towards later this year is more of a conversational phone system. So if you call our member service area today and you want to transfer funds, but again, maybe now you're living overseas and you still want to do those things, but maybe again there's a time difference issue, and it's not convenient from our operating hours. This is a service that would allow you to do some of those transactions, but again, would be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we continuously are looking for ways to service our international members better. And we would love your feedback on this one. This is really important to us. So please email us. I always put my email out there. So it's just Craig_Leonard, at harvard.edu. If there's a pain point that you're feeling that we could try to address, please send it to me.
Thank you for the transparency, Craig. This should be also for the members living outside the US. Next question. How safe is the credit union in light of what's been going on in the banking industry?
The banking industry has really, got shaken over the last few months, certainly with Silicon Valley and Signature Bank, First Republic, a number of institutions that are no longer with us. Our institution is incredibly safe. We get examined by our regulators on a regular basis. We have ample capital. That's one of the measures that our regulators review in terms of safety. So we have a tremendous amount of capital here at the institution. We have ample liquidity sources. The other thing that's really important to know for our members, which was vastly different than these other institutions, and Massachusetts, is a very consumer-friendly state, and they were really ahead of the curve, back in the 60s. And Massachusetts is really one of the only states that requires this of state chartered institutions, which is the requirement to have secondary deposit insurance. So the NCUA, which is our primary insurance provider, insures your deposits up to $250,000. This is very similar to what you see at banks where they'll say FDIC insured, same type of insurance on your deposits. We have a secondary insurance provider that insures deposits in excess of what the NCUA does. So in essence, your deposits are guaranteed regardless of the amount of funds that you have with us, which was critical. And one of the main issues, what caused kind of the collapse or the run on Silicon Valley, was that they had an incredible amount of uninsured deposits. So it makes us vastly different than a lot of other institutions, and something that you can feel really secure about. So our institution is highly safe, highly secure, and your deposits are fully insured.
That's really reassuring to hear. I have some deposits with the credit union, and it's really reassuring to hear that you have told me that my deposits are safe. Thank you. We also have about 10 minutes left. Just giving you a quick time check. Next question. How can HUECU help me with paying fees associated with my degree program?
There's a when we do our student loans today, and I'm going to answer this question in a couple different ways, just because I'm not sure the particulars of this one. We can do student loans up to the cost of attendance. Fees, these type of fees might not be part of that. So my first advice for the member asking this question would be to reach out to our student loan department. They are a wonderful group, which will be able to answer this question in more detail than what I'm going to be able to provide. Our student loan programs may be able to incorporate that, is where I'm going. We also have some specialty programs. So for example, we have a specialty education loan program for residents, for fellows, for those who recently graduated law school and now studying for the bar exam. We have a program that encompasses those type of fees. Outside of that, even some of our personal loans would be able to assist with this type of situation. So there's a couple different avenues in which we could help this particular member. But my first advice would be reach out, talk to us. You know, that's what we're here for, is to give advice on what we think is going to be the most beneficial for you as the member.
Thank you. Next, what prompted the class action waiver letter, and why has HUECU moved to binding arbitration?
Yeah. Over the last few years, there's been a significant increase in frivolous lawsuits that have targeted community banks and credit unions. There's a few law firms out there that are essentially sending out similar suits from institution to institution. You know, we were advised some years ago to kind of move in this direction. You know, one of the jobs that we have here is to manage and mitigate some of our risk. You know, and legal risk is one of those. You know, we've also been targeted as part of one of these meritless type of suits. So in light of these suits continuing within the marketplace, you know, we took the advice of our legal counsel and our compliance consultants. We feel this is a better way to handle disputes in the future. The arbitration letter that we sent out does provide an opt-out ability for members to continue to participate in any, you know, pending or future type of class action suits that might ever come about to our institution. But this was really a way for us to kind of manage disputes more effectively as we go into the future. And so that this is the primary reason for doing so.
Thank you. And almost the last question. How can member owners help HUECU in 2023?
I love this question. I would say, you know what, continue to utilize the services that we offer. You know, it's important for us to continue to grow, and we grow through the usage that use our products and services. And another way is talk about us to other potential members, you know, other potential people who can be eligible to the credit union. You know, we're a growing entity. We have roughly 50,000 members now. You know, we've grown substantially over the last decade in particular. You know, other members of your family can belong to the credit union. So, you know, this doesn't need to be just because you yourself are affiliated with Harvard, but you know, it trickles down to other members within your household. So, you know, the more that we can get people to participate in what we think is a really fantastic organization, we appreciate it. We work really hard to gain your trust, and we'll continue to do that certainly in the future.
Nice. And I also just want to add a little bit to that, Craig. And I want to thank the members that participated in our CCUA book drive a few weeks ago. Thank you very much. We were able to collect and donate over 150 books to A Bed for Every Child, an amazing organization. And thank you to the members that participated in our Stepping Strong Walking Challenge. We were able to help contribute with BWH and achieve their goal of 500 million steps taken in a month.
That's
So
wonderful.
if anybody would still like to be updated on our future events, please follow us on our social media at myhuecu. And our last question: what new products will HUECU offer in 2023?
So we started rolling out insurance products at the beginning of this year, and some of our members may have received some information around that. And if you haven't yet, you likely will. We didn't hit our entire membership all at once. We're kind of putting it into stages. And if you're interested in some of our insurance products or learning more about it, you certainly can go to our website. And there's information there. But we think we've got some great value that we can provide to our members from an insurance standpoint. We'll also be rolling out investment services. To be honest with you, I had hoped that we'd be live by now. We're still recruiting some financial advisors, and we know how key that role is, and we want to make sure that we're putting the best financial representatives in front of you. It's your money. We want to make sure that we are great stewards of that and make sure that we're providing the best advice for you to grow your funds. And so making sure that we have the right people in front of you means the world to us. So we're really taking our time to make sure we have the right advisors. But that product or service will be coming shortly. We also recently rolled out a Flex Grad program. So our graduate educational loan programs to date have largely been focused on those who attend Harvard. This is more open to the entire membership. And it's also geared towards those who are working individuals. A lot of individuals, they can't just stop working and go to grad school full time. This takes into consideration those who are still working, going to part-time. So if you're going more than half time for a graduate level course or certificate level course, then we've got a program and we've got some financing options for you. So really excited about those three in particular. The other one that I had mentioned earlier is about this conversational phone system that will allow you to do some transactions 24/7 with the institution that you might generally have called into our support center and utilize. So providing some more flexibility for our members is really key.
Sounds like we have a lot of great things coming up in 2023. I'm excited.
We stay busy. We try to stay busy.
We also have a Smart Rewards savings account coming up or out that you mentioned earlier. Anything you want to say about this, Craig?
No, the thing that I'm happy to see is that we've got a lot of members taking advantage of it, which is fantastic. We roll out some of these products and we think about how the members are going to respond. And the members have really taken advantage of it. It is a great product. It's a very easy product, and it gives you fantastic returns. So I encourage everyone to really take a look at that one.
Very nice. So, Craig, $1 million question: HUECU's upcoming initiatives.
Yeah, we're still staying busy. We've got things that are rolling out this year, but we've got certainly a long list of initiatives. One of the things that we're always looking at is how to make banking with us easier. So we continue to evaluate our technology and our operations. One of the things that I've committed to the membership when I took over this organization was to really make it less stressful to bank with us. And so a lot of our initiatives are geared towards that in terms of reviewing our procedures, reviewing our technology. We've also are looking at business banking down the road. We think that's an important part of our future lineup. So we're going to spend, we're starting to kick off that initiative here in the second half of 2023 with the hopes of an implementation of mid 2024. So those small businesses who might need some financing or a place to use us for their banking products, that's something that's certainly important to us. We are continuing to expand our mortgage footprint. We are throughout New England now, but we know we've got a lot of people who live up here who love to travel to Florida. So Florida is the next state that we're targeting to expand our mortgage footprint. We should have something up and running over the next several months. So we'll be excited to roll that one out too. So keeping busy here, Terrence.
Good news, good things all around. If there are any last questions, please feel free to place them in the Q&A. And let's keep in touch. Follow us at my HUECU on all our social channels. Thank you for being with us. And I don't see any questions, so I believe, Craig, we are all set. Thank you everyone for attending today's presentation, our spring town hall, and I hope to see everyone in the future.